Okay, so now we'll see an example of if-else statement while writing a program. So I've written the program like what exactly we want to write the program for. So we have to write a program to input marks of physics, chemistry, maths, evaluate the average, and then print failed if the average is less than 40%. So we'll take the question statement part by part. The first part is to input marks of physics, chemistry, maths. So what we'll do is let's assign variables to store marks for physics, chemistry, maths. So we'll say double. So the reason why we are using double, let's use float because we have explained float in the previous section. So the reason why we are using float and not integer is because the marks can be in decimal. You can score 95.5 marks in physics, for example. So let's say physics marks, comma, chemistry marks, and maths marks. Now this statement can be written separately, like float physics marks and float chemistry marks, float math mark. You can also use comma to define all of them all together. Next we'll take input. So let's prompt the user to input the marks one by one. So let's say enter physics marks. Then we'll input the physics marks. Then let's say enter maths marks. See out, enter chemistry marks. So now we have inputted like all the marks. Let's print all these marks and see if everything we have written works. So what this snippet should do is input all the marks and then print them in one single line. So let's try to run the program. We'll go to the build and run. Cool. So the program runs without any error and warning. We'll enter the physics mark, let's say 90, enter maths marks 85, and chemistry marks, let's say 76. So we'll see that all the marks are getting printed successfully. So the first segment of the program is complete. Now next what we'll do is we'll evaluate the average. So what we have to do is we have to create a new variable. Let's take float also. So it's right time to introduce double. Let's say we store it in double average. So double is basically similar to float. It can store decimal values, except the range for double is much higher. So in this case we can use float as well, but let's use double. So average will be physics marks plus maths marks plus chemistry marks, chem marks. And then what we'll do is we'll divide average by 3.0. So the reason, like I don't think we have used this operator before. So what this is, it's same as writing average equals to average by 3.0. Now there is a reason why I'm writing 3.0 and not 3. This will cover later, but as of now let's assume that if we are doing division over float operators, we'll use 3.0. There's one mistake, chem marks. Okay, let's print the average as well and see if we are printing it correctly. See out average, handle. Let's build it and run it. Run. Now in this case let's take variable marks. Let's say 1, 2, 3. So the average is 2. 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6. 6 by 3 is 2. So correct. Okay. Terminate. Now the last part is print failed if the average is 40. Now this is where the magic of conditional structure comes, conditional flow structure comes. So up till now we have followed the sequential structure where each and every statement was getting executed one by one, but here we want to print failed. So the structure, the instruction to print failed is very easy. Just see out failed. Now this failed has to be printed only when the average is less than 40. So here's when we have to write some condition and use the if statement to run this instruction only when our particular condition is evaluated. So what we'll do is we'll write if the condition is average is less than 40. So if this condition evaluates to true, then we'll print failed. So let's try to compile it and run it. So run. Now we are facing some issue. Yes, so missed a semicolon here. Let's run it again. Let's enter physics marks. Let's say 90, 87, 78. Now the average that we get is 85, which is more than 40, so we are not getting any message. Now let's try again with marks where we are failing. So run. Let's say we got 10 marks in. Oops, I made the wrong entry. Let's try again. Build, run. Let's see, we got 10 marks in physics, 15 marks in maths, and 40 marks in chemistry. So the average is 21.6 and we are getting the message failed. So this is how if works. Now next we'll see an example of how we use if else. So we'll use this example only where we have calculated average and then we have printed failed if the average is less than 40. What if we add an additional requirement where we want to print passed if like else if marks are, if average is more than 40. So in this case what we can do is we can add another condition saying if average is more than equals to 40, see out passed. Right, let's try to run it. Run. 40, 50, 60. So the average is 50 and we are getting the statement, the print message passed. So you will see the difference that we are enclosing the if statements in a curly braces here and not here. So we use curly braces only when there are multiple statements that we want to execute when if evaluates to true. So if it's just a single statement, we can omit this out. So another way of writing this if statement is to use else. So what we can do is we can remove this if and write something like else. So else, see out, passed. So this is same as what we have written before. If the average is less than 40, we print failed, and if it doesn't, if this condition doesn't evaluate to true, we'll print passed. Let's run it again. So build, run. Let's enter physics mark 50, 60, 70. The average is 60, so we are getting passed. So that's all about if-else statement. In the next section, we'll learn about another variant, which is else-if statement.